Welcome to Staying Sweet, the podcast. Tune into my weekly podcast to hear me, Alice Bradley, delve deeper into building your brand and enjoying a luxury lifestyle. All while staying sweet, of course. Whether you're looking to level up in business, start something of your own, or balance a more exciting, fulfilling, and healthier lifestyle, each episode will be created especially to inspire and encourage your own success so you can really have it all. Plus, don't miss out on the Staying Sweet specials, a series of exclusive interviews and conversations with Alice Bradley's network of inspiring entrepreneurs and brand owners. Always protect your sweetness, your light is not a weakness. Don't forget, there are new episodes every Monday. For daily content, you can check out my Instagram and you can follow me at alicelucybradley. Stay sweet. Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new episode.
Woo.
I am so excited to have Miss Sadie Bass in the room.
This has been a long time coming.
It has. I'm so excited.
I feel like Julia Fox when she was Josh Sapty's muse.
OMG. I just feel like this is what you're meant to do.
I know. Do you know what? People say that I've got like a good voice for
Give them your best voice, darling.
Like, I feel like I could do phone sex. I mean, does it sound good?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
you've
got a real, like, raspiness
But
to your
do you know what?
voice.
In my head, my voice sounds really low. Like, really low and, like, masculine. And then whenever
I
hear my voice back,
You've got a
I'm
very
like,
soft voice.
Jesus, it is high and annoying and, like, girly. And I'm like, okay, I need to not talk.
No, I love it. I love it so much. And I feel like this is, like,
there's a lot in a voice.
When you come into your own.
There's a lot in a voice, do you not think?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, a voice can be make or break.
Definitely. I think you've got a voice. I think you've got...
Of an angel.
You've got this vibe that I can't even, like, get my words out when I'm with you. Like, guys, if you've not met Sadie or you've not been introduced to her content...
You don't know, get to know.
Seriously, I've never met someone emit such a frequency of just carefreeness, love. Like, I don't know what it is about you. The day I met you,
That is my best compliment,
I was like,
I'd say.
I need to be friends with you. I just knew it.
I
knew
that.
it.
I think that's my top compliment ever. Like when people say, "Oh, you have a good energy," or like,
yeah, definitely.
"Oh, you have a nice aura." I'm like, there isn't a compliment that could ever be higher than that to me.
I agree, and I think you've been somebody from day one that's just shared your true self. And like, I watch you create stories behind the scenes and then go to post them. Guys, this girl is like so quick to post. She will film something and then in 2 seconds she's written the caption and it's posted and she's already got like people replying.
I don't know. I just find that more fun. Like for me, it's like in the moment stuff is way more.
Guys, she's hilarious.
It's because I just want people to chat to. Like, someone chat to me.
I love it, but I see it from the back end kind of perspective as well, like the admin-y side, and I'm like, wow, so many people reply to your comments, so many people engage in your polls, answer your like question boxes. Like, I've never seen someone with such an engaged audience with like real stories. They want to share real dramas and woes and issues.
It's nice for me too because genuinely, especially like as we're going to talk later on, like working on your own, like it genuinely feels like I don't have colleagues anymore, so I miss that. So I kind of enjoy it, like having banter with people. It actually makes my day, the things people send me, and I'm like, the things people trust me with.
Yeah, I feel like you've had
some dark secrets. Yeah. I'm like, girl, okay.
Because obviously, like, I'm saying, like, oh yeah, I know what they are, but I only know them because they've been shared anonymously.
Yeah, and
everything's kept anonymous.
And I see their names, you know? Like, not that I would even care or even look, but it's like, that is a trust. And I'm like, I feel so grateful that people trust me with their, like, confessions. And yeah, no, I love it. It feels like, sounds silly, like, it does feel like friends. Like, there's people that I chat to, I would say, like, every day.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
When you think about how vast your audience is, and also at the same time, like, I feel like you're also just getting started. Like,
I hope so.
I just know the trajectory for you is so high. Like,
I hope so.
Sky's not even the limit. Like, I can't even explain the vibes that you just emit and the fun we have. Like,
it's just the water sign. It's water sign.
It is.
The minute I heard you were a Cancer, I was like, I just know we're gonna get on. I just knew.
So we met. When you think about it, it wasn't even that long ago, but it was January time 2020.
I reckon it was it was
just
before that. It was like
maybe just before Christmas, maybe.
Yeah, I feel like it was 2019.
2019.
We first met.
Oh yes,
through work, like from when I used to work in PR.
Yes, so
and
you were working for DP
and another blogger for like coffee.
Yes.
Me and my best friend Danny, who I used to work with. And I remember we were all chatting and getting on. I remember we both walked away, and she's also a water sign. She's Scorpio. And we walked away and we were like, oh my God, like, I love Alice. Like, she's so lush. And like, I didn't know you before that. And then I think saw you a photographer, and you messaged me in 2020 like, oh, let's do some photos, let's meet up. And I was like, oh my God, like, I'm always down to have like blogger friends and stuff. And we met up, and it was literally like COVID was just happening.
Yeah, like it was just pre-COVID.
Brewing.
Yeah, like it was brewing. It was early February.
And it was like work from home things were happening.
Yeah, like things were kind of like, oh, there might be something, I don't really know. And then I went away to Paris, and then that was it. But I remember us like planning to meet, and like we never got to, and I was like, oh my God, I'm never going to see people
single.
Again. Yeah,
we were like, oh my God, we're going to live our single lives, and now we can do that again.
Well, we can do that.
It's
really
coming.
do.
It's
need
still
to do
coming
that.
2 years later, but yeah, I've known you for like 2 years, which is insane.
Crazy. And like, I don't know how to explain it, guys, but it's like every single time we meet, we've got so much to tell each other, so much to laugh about.
And it's just non-judgy. It's a non-judgy space, which is what you need, friends like that in your life.
It is. Like, I could literally tell you anything and everything, and it's just so easy going.
I know you do.
I do.
Oh my God. I don't want to get vulgar, but like the conversations we have, I'm like, this doesn't leave this room. It just doesn't need to go there.
Yeah, basically head to Sadie's TikTok to find out just some of the topics that we talk about.
We do it in restaurants. We need to chill. Like,
we actually
people
do.
Just trying to tuck into their chicken. Also, we just had unreal Nando's, guys.
We had a really good Nando's, and we ended up talking about vibrators.
It was juicy. The Nando's were juicy. The conversation was juicy. It's just so juicy.
I got that
juicy.
That could rival. That could rival Amelia.
I know.
Chicken shop.
Chicken shop.
We could do juicy chicken.
I know, but
chats.
You're vegan.
So
juicy
chicken.
imitator. chicken
without the E. But yeah.
I always think, do people overhear the convos?
Possibly, but if they do, tuck in.
Also, oh my God, my bag got caught on this girl's chair.
Oh my God.
She looked at me like I'd killed her first child. Like, I was like, babe, I nearly fell over. You don't even catch.
She had her cutlery, her drink, her sauce,
everything,
lemon and herb in her hand.
Oh, and you know what it's like when you
just walked so fast, and her bag, a Jacquemus bag.
I saw my life flash before, but no, I think it was a dupe.
Oh,
don't bait me out like that. Come on.
Sorry, guys. I thought it was a real one. Orcs. She does have a real one.
I do have
I'm looking at one right now.
I do have a real one, but that's my prized possession. I wouldn't take it to Nando's. Come on.
No.
But yeah, she just we weren't feeling that. She was definitely like, I don't know what star sign she was, but I wasn't feeling it.
Oh yeah, she was given like maybe Aquarius vibes.
Oh, she was an Aquarius.
Like emotionless. Like, I'm not gonna
get off me.
You.
Yeah,
like,
she was an air sign. Like get your bag off me.
Oh. But yeah, it was like one of those moments that it could have gone really horribly wrong. Like, you could have swept their whole entire meal away.
I could have spilt my Coca-Cola, literally on her face, but it's fine. It's all good.
Oh gosh, but yeah, we're well fed. We've had a fairly productive day.
It's literally 10 p.m.
Yeah, we're sitting here in our pajamas
right now. So that is the energy we're coming to you with.
Any updates on your week or things?
Updates?
I feel like I just want to talk, even though it's not like a positive thing. I do want to touch on the guy earlier today when we were shooting content.
Which one?
So
there's always a weirdo.
There's always a weirdo. No, so yes. So I was basically having a serious conversation with Sadie.
We were just chilling on the street. We weren't doing anything wrong.
Just about kind of working out where we were going. Sort of High Street Kensington.
Yeah, just literally chatting like in the street, like not doing anything illegal. We weren't taking photos. I actually promised. I swear I would own up to it. We weren't. We had a Pret coffee, just having a little chit chat. He comes out.
The audacity of the man
tells us to leave because we're chatting near his house.
Yeah, he was like, people always chat here and you're just blah blah blah.
Yeah, he was like, there's always people out here chatting, no, and I was like, look at him.
It's like, what is this, Batman? Like, I know it's a bit on brand with Batman coming out, but I was like, really?
We're talking. I didn't know. I actually didn't know we weren't allowed to talk.
No, and it was just, and it was one of those things where you're like, gosh, we're having this serious conversation and you've like come in and given. Honestly, it was quite ironic because it was like his issue was a proper third world problem.
I mean, maybe we were being loud. Maybe we would. I don't know. There's people always outside my house.
I know, but
I didn't know I was allowed to.
I think it's one of those things, and we're gonna touch on it. But just like how other people's like energy can impact our day as a creator, because unfortunately, a lot of things we do are in the public eye, and we have to literally take that energy, whether it's bad or good, and transform it. We either get ourselves into a funk or we move on and we make it work.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's like one thing around like a load of other topics that kind of like being catcalled, being shouted at, being looked at funny.
And I do get it, like it is, I do get the thing, you're taking a picture outside someone's house and it can, I do get that.
Yeah.
And I think people can put boundaries. The only one I don't get is the Notting Hill ones. Because, like, I'm sorry, I know this sounds so mean, like, you've got a pink house, babe. Like, yeah. Of course, and I would never, and if someone tells me to move, I'll move. Luckily, it hasn't happened to me loads because we're quite quick, like we just do a few and like move on, but I know some people do take quite long, and I can imagine it is annoying.
The changing thing is a little bit awkward. Like it's awkward for all of us. Like if there was a set we could go to, like we would go.
Do you know what happened to me once? I was getting changed like in the street as you do, and this guy just opened his door and was like, he had a foyer, like a reception.
Oh wow.
And he was like, sorry, like are you okay? And I was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, like I'm literally just getting changed. And he was like, it's fine, I saw you on the camera. He was like, you can get changed in here, like it's okay. And like, wow, let's go in his reception.
But that's really nice, like that's a nice gesture.
And do you remember that builder we had? And he was honestly, he was the sweetest guy. Like we were like, oh, go past, because we were doing something.
Yeah. And
he was like, no, it's fine. And we were like, you're at work, don't worry, babe.
But his sentence really moved me. It was like when he said, but you're at work too.
Yeah, he was like, you're working too. I've never heard.
That was the first time I've heard like mutual acknowledgement. Ever. Yeah, 100%.
When you do it is work, but it just doesn't seem like it. And I do get it. It's nowhere near as hard as like most jobs, and I do get that, and I'm not discrediting that for other people. It's not as hard as his job was, but it still is a job. Like it's still money, and it's still people's career. And yeah, but he was so cute. It's really, and it makes a difference. And like people are nice, or like when people are like, it brightens your day.
It does, and it really does affect like how you move through your day, or like it affects how you take the pictures. Like I find if I've had a lot of negative comments that day, I look back at the pictures and I look miserable, and I don't want to post them because it's like you can almost see it in my face, even though I've forgotten what happened.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You kind of, it's a picture does tell 1,000 words.
Yeah.
And like if you're not feeling comfortable, or somebody's made a comment or said something to you or made a passing judgment, it can be really hard to get your mojo back.
Also, like, why don't we just normalize not saying things to people on the street?
Yeah.
I don't
like, I'm not going to ask you why you're drinking coffee from Pret or like Costa or Starbucks.
Let's just not. Because you know what?
Talk about
it never
my
is.
bag.
It's never women, is it? Come on, let's be honest. It's only men that shouts things out.
Well, occasionally I've had some women. I did have a woman walk past me once, and I was in, I don't even know, like it wasn't even like something revealing as such. It was a short-ish dress, and she just went, she fully like came up to me and tutted me and then walked off.
Do you know what? That's like one of my favourite hobbies.
I think is worse.
Is like upsetting the Karens with my outfits. Oh. Like I live for it.
But why? What's the point?
Because they want to do it. It's the only reason. It's because you're trapped. It's like, babe, get your tits out. It'll be fun. Live a little, Karen.
Live a little,
Live
Karen.
a little, like.
Or Jane.
Or Sandra.
Or
whatever.
Patsy.
Yeah. No, Patsy's too cool.
Patsy's cool. Patsy's ab fab territory.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, we can't put our babe Patsy in there.
I do love a bit of ab fab.
I've never seen it, but I need to watch it.
Are you kidding me?
I used to do PR, so I feel like that's my kind of show.
Minus like the drugs and the smoking, I kind of think that's our relationship.
Okay, maybe I'll watch it. I'll give it a go.
I feel like it kind of sums us up on a night out on like
water gals.
A press trip.
I mean, on nights out, I'm definitely not a green tea gal. But that's for another day, another conversation.
Another day, another conversation. So we've got a few topics to talk about today, and I'm just so glad you're on the podcast. To be honest,
I love. This is so fun.
It flows quite nicely, doesn't it? I feel like it's so easy going with you, and what we like to do here on Staying Sweet. I almost forgot the name of my podcast. I was like on.
You need like a little like jingle.
I need like Staying Sweet. I can't sing, guys.
Sweet. I want to do like a Ariana Grande whistle note.
Can you? She's got it. She's got it.
Nearly there. You could do that. Stay sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I can't. I'm trying to stay quiet to like let you have your moment.
I know, I'm trying to think, like, you know, in your vlog, in Alice's vlog, I go, but I'm not rich, I'm poor. You could just like stay sweet. That vibrato. Yes, I did have singing lessons, guys.
Vibrato, nice.
Vibrato.
Nice little word there.
I can't do it anymore. I used to be able to do it.
Very nice, very nice. But yeah, what we like to do on Staying Sweet, something that I've kind of started with, and I think I quite like it as like an introduction to you, or maybe something that you're living by at the moment, like a mantra, a quote, an affirmation. I do love an affirmation. Just something that's really solidifying your focus at the moment. Like, have you got a quote or something that's driving you forward?
Yes, I do have a quote, actually.
Oh, lovely.
And do you know what? It's a weird one for me. It's something that I'm trying to get better at, and I feel like I probably won't even put into practice right now, but it's something that would be good for podcasts. And it's something, because I'm studying at the moment, I learned it in my course, and it was the course I'm doing is about how to counsel people. And we did this whole session about listening, which is something, I am a good listener, but I'm also, I don't know if I'm a bit hyperactive, but people will tell me something and I get so excited that I can relate to them that I jump in or finish their sentences, and I only realize now that can be rude. I don't know if it's the thing about having lots of siblings and you're trying to jump in, and even with my friends now, we don't find it rude. It's just how we talk, like we're all quite hyper. But this quote is, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth.
Love it.
So listen twice as much as you speak, because the only way we actually learn is through listening. And I feel like if you actually really focus, and I'm trying to listen to what people are saying to me, and not just the minute people talk, my mind's ticking, what can I say? And actually, it's actually a skill, and it's really hard. I know,
I know, I'm literally trying to not speak.
It's so hard.
Because I'm guilty of it.
Yeah.
I do it all the time.
And you don't mean to be rude, it's just because you just love chatting. Like, I love chatting to people, but I'm really trying to let people now have their moment and like listen to actually what they're saying, and not, I think it's because of this course I'm doing. I'm trying to listen, not
awareness.
Put my own feelings onto people, as in if someone says something like what they're going through, just because you would find it sad or difficult or hard doesn't necessarily mean that that's their stories. So like, don't put your stuff on them. And I feel like even if I don't do anything with this course after, hopefully it'll make me a better person, but it is really hard.
No, it's interesting you say that, and maybe that's because we vibe, and like there's no like we don't get offended when we overlap each other.
Yeah.
Like if you were to be in a room with me and Sadie, and I have it with quite a few of my friends actually, we overlap so much that I don't know whether you find this with like editing vlogs. I feel so guilty because I feel like I've dominated the entire conversation.
You don't realise you've done it.
And it's not even from like an ill intention, it's just the way that you are, and I know I think I've brushed people up the wrong way by just being chatty and being like, oh, I can relate to that. Again, sometimes not helpful in a situation when someone just wants their moment.
Yeah.
So it's about just listening. Like
it's a hard
one.
It's a skill to learn, and I don't think there's anything bad in the way we are. It's just like you're just chatty, confident, you want to chat to everyone, and you get like, I just get really overexcited and like, yeah, I don't know, but it's very hard to bite your tongue. But I just love.
Do you think social media has encouraged you to be more conversation dominant because you almost have to drive an audience, and you have all this time like TikToking, Instagram story, vlogging? I
think being on your own a lot and talking on your own is not something that a lot of people do, so that might be why the way we are like this, as in to do a full hour video just talking on your own, no one's replying, so you are having a conversation essentially with no one. You're like, it sounds a bit sad actually, you're just sat there like,
never thought of it like that,
and there's no replies. If you're with someone in a vlog, you're both talking together and you can both chip in, but if it's just you have to keep that energy up the whole time. There's not a time where you kind of go dip in and out
and you wait for that reply.
Say over lockdown we had all this time on our own talking, coming back we probably lost all our like a lot of people probably lost their social skills.
I think so. And
we're
like,
doing it
but like the ability to listen, to stop. And I had to keep telling myself, listen. It's like I was on a push trip and I was like, Alice, for goodness sake, shut up. You're in a room with journalists who have way more experience than you. I talk all the time about myself on my social media. They don't need to hear about me. Listen to what they have to say, ask them questions, be inquisitive, and stop getting in your own head. But I think it's because as well we have to sell ourselves all the time in emails, in our stories. We're having, you've got PRs looking at you. It's like we're salespeople as well. We have to have that gift of the gab,
and you feel really pressure. And I think I've always been like it though, like even in school, and I think it's also wanting everyone to have a good time, wanting to be liked, maybe wanting to make people laugh, so you like overcompensate. And also you know, some people when they're shy, they go into themselves and they don't talk. Some people can have the opposite reaction. It's like, okay, I don't feel confident, so I'm just gonna act the most confident in the room. And it takes a lot to just be comfortable in being quiet. And I think I'm trying to practice it now, and I'm like, I don't need to be the jokester all the time. I don't need to be the one making everyone laugh constantly. Like, who's actually making me laugh?
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to solve everyone's problems. So I'm trying to shut up and, like, let there be awkward silences. Like, let someone else fill it. I don't need to fill everything, but it is hard.
So hard. I think there's so much pressure now because of the external factors like lockdown. Like I don't really think we've worked out just how much of an effect that's had generationally.
I think it's traumatic.
It's going to be a ripple effect that we might not even see the full effects of for a good 10 20 years. Like even the lockdown babies and like how they interact. Like it's very, I know it's really off topic, but it's very fascinating.
They could be so reliant on their parents maybe and not had other people, but we won't know. And for a lot of people, well, if they're lucky, COVID probably was the most traumatic thing to happen to them. And you are lucky if that is the most traumatic thing that happened to you, but it's still trauma. Just because it's not as dramatic as other people's trauma, it still is a lot to handle. And I don't think people have understood that yet. But yeah, it's like it's a world trauma. It is crazy to think it, but
and even like your impact, so like people tuning into what you have to say and everything. And I think that kind of ties in quite well with my little quote. It's
see,
quite
I've got to listen now, guys.
It's quite long.
I'm gonna shut up.
But it's true with how we make others feel. So I've said, how I make others feel says a lot about who I am. I choose to show up and be magnetic for all things good in the world and share them with others. And I think that's really how you have to be in, like, across all social media channels in a way. Yeah. And your energy exchange, what you post, what you choose to share. Again, listening instead of just speaking and reacting. Like, all these social skills that we're kind of tapping into in a different way. I feel like lockdown had a huge impact on that, and like I feel like you showed up even more on stories. I feel like that's really where you grew.
That's where everything changed. I think like I'm almost grateful for it because it's allowed me to do my job now, I think. But yeah, I love that quote. I do think that like it's a similar quote. I know we're giving you 3 quotes this week, guys.
Exciting.
You lucky bunch. I always think of like how you said like how you treat people is like how you feel about yourself. Like hurt people. So whenever people are mean to me, I just think it sounds so cliche, but in a way I do feel sorry for them because I'm like, you must be hurting so much it's to act this way, because if you are fine and you are happy and you are healed, you're not a dick essentially. So yeah.
So how have you navigated that? Because sort of the main topic of this podcast is about how you decided to quit your full-time job, step out of your comfort zone, tap into you as a personal brand, and like when was the right time for everything. So I feel like let's talk about your initial growth and when you really started to see traction. I'm guessing it was stories and that sort of social engagement that was like, oh wow, like this could be a thing for me. Like, was that the first time you felt successful?
I think when I stopped trying to be like other people, because especially when like I'm the same as you, I've been doing it for so many years, and at the time when I was doing it, it was very polished blogging. It was like perfect pictures next to white houses and a certain kind of outfit, and you didn't talk about anything on stories. You didn't even talk on stories. That wasn't a thing. And I felt so much pressure, and I just wasn't growing, and I didn't feel like me. Like I didn't connect to it. And then I remember one day, I loved YouTube, but I didn't know how to do YouTube. And I remember one day just filming this, like, me trying on this foundation. And I still have it on my archives, and it's so awkward because everyone's always like, you're so chatty, how did you get to that point? And I'm like, I've not always been like this. It is a skill. Like, I literally was like, hello, I like this foundation. Like, it was so awkward.
Did you used to have scripts? I used to have scripts for
I would have like loose on my YouTube,
I had,
but now
like,
I just
full-on scripts on my YouTube
I just
channel.
like jump in and just say whatever. And I think it took me confidence to get to that point. And so I started showing my personality a bit more and like being a bit more jokey and a bit more, I guess, real, like showing maybe nights out or funny things. And that's when I had people be like, oh my God, they enjoyed it. And I was like, oh damn, like actually when I'm just me, it does better. And then it was when it was lockdown, I got furloughed, and I remember being like, oh my God, my life's ending, I'm furloughed. Like, I was so upset, like I was crying over it.
Because you're like quite committed to your work. I
was so committed, and I felt like
it was your everything in a way. Like,
I felt like work as well. Like, people always like, oh, I don't want to work, and I'm like, it actually does give people a purpose. Like, I felt useless. I felt like nothing. Like, I was like, I'm just wasting away. Like, I'm a Capricorn rising. Like, as much as I'm a Pisces and I'm lazy,
work hard, play hard,
I'm a Capricorn. I'm like, I love to have like a project, things going on, and it's really conflicting. But yeah, and I was like, I need to make the most of this time. It was like free money, not free money, but, you know, I wasn't working, furlough. So I thought, I'm starting a YouTube channel. And I feel like that's when it just like...
It just took off.
Yeah, it was really crazy. I did not expect that.
The YouTube for you, I think, was like... even though you were sharing yourself on stories, I feel like you were connecting to a new audience on such a scale. It was like
people.
Overnight, like people who didn't know you. You were just sharing your personality. I remember doing like hauls, and I remember we did a style swap.
Oh my God, with
Quiz, which was like ages ago, like very in the midst of the pandemic. Like,
I loved that outfit
craziness. And didn't we order we ordered the same thing?
Yeah, we
for
did.
each other. We had like a couple of outfits each, and it was a really great like opportunity, I think, for us both to have a bit of a challenge. Like,
I actually loved all the quiz stuff. It made me like fall in love with quiz. I didn't even know they had such nice stuff until we did that. I was like, damn.
It was really good fun. But I think just seeing how your personality came across, and like how, like you say, it didn't need to be polished. It was just showing up as you. And I think you've shown a demographic that you don't need the best camera in the world. You don't need the greatest setup. If you are you and you have a personality, that shines through.
Yeah, I think so. I think you can feel it in people's like videos or anything they do. As it doesn't matter if you're not like me, but as long as you're authentic to you, like I feel like you feel a certain passion come through.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And I think that's really important. And I remember I always think that to myself, and I feel like I've started to lose it sometimes when you're trying to do what other people want or what people like, but really doing the things that you're passionate about and make you excited is always going to be the best option.
And it will drive your success, because it's
people can feel
those things that make you stand out.
Yeah,
like for me, your stories.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Like, if
I
I
always
was a
joke,
brand,
like, no one cares.
I would pay for your type of story, though.
Yeah, but no, people do come to me just for talking ones, which is amazing. But yeah, I feel like no one cares. Like, I'll post about fashion and stuff, and like no one cares. And then I'll post about, honestly, like something that, like people drinking out of hot water bottles, and everyone goes nuts. I'm like,
or you have like a question box, and people are so engaged.
It's crazy the things people
to
send.
Have that,
it's insane.
Though, is so rare.
No, it's so funny. No, I do love it. I'm glad it changed for the better. But yeah, it just goes to show. I know it is the most cliche, like, be true to yourself, but I think it matters. And then at least, even if you do fail, I don't want to say the word fail, but even if it doesn't go right, at least it was fun.
And what was like the real pivotal moment? Like, what was the moment you thought, right, I think I need to quit my job now? Because obviously a job is security.
Yeah.
It's financial stability. It's that paycheck that you don't even have to worry about thinking about the tax of it.
I know.
Everything's kind of done for you in a way. And for me, it's something I'm still navigating. But
it was a comfort. And I think I did have a good job. I used to work in fashion PR. It was a very like coveted job. People wanted that job. And I think I felt a kind of connection to it. And I felt like guilty. I was like, oh, people want this job. Like, why am I leaving it? And I don't know. It was a risk. I still can't believe I even did it. I never thought I would do it. I mean, I think you have to be realistic. Like, I am a dreamer, but I'm also realistic. Like, I don't come from money. Like, I didn't have that safety net. I just had to be like, I had to know with the money. But I think it was when, I don't know, I didn't have a life really. I didn't have a life, and I was like, I just want to focus on one thing. And I think when the money was similar, like over a few months, and I was like, my bills and rent could be paid just from blogging, then I was like, maybe I should just leave, because essentially if I left, I thought I would have more time.
And in terms of like savings, or for someone, say, that might not even want to do like influencing, but
just freelance in general,
or maybe start their own business, maybe they've had this idea, like, do you remember how many businesses were born out of lockdown? Like candle companies.
It was insane.
Just all sorts of ideas. And it was like, gosh, it's really nice to see people just quit the job that they maybe feel miserable in, or that they don't feel satisfies them anymore, and just go and start something entirely new, what would you say to someone who is maybe in that position where they're like, oh, I don't know how much money I need, or maybe they want to aim to have so much money saved before they go out into the wider world of freelance? And
I had a savings enough to be able to live, not for that long, but like I'd say about 3 to 6 months I could comfortably pay rent and bills and have money for food. So I was like, look, it was my mum really who inspired me to do it. She was like, you always moan about your job, like just go for it. And she said, like, what is the worst that can happen? Like, I think we get so comfortable with, like, there is always other jobs. Like, I can just work in a supermarket, like that is fine, like I'm gonna get another job. So that's what made me leave. I think I was just like, it's a risk, but nothing comes out of your comfort zone. So I don't know, why not? So I would say at least, yeah, be realistic, but you do have to be a dreamer as well. Like, have at least, I would say, 3 months saved.
And in terms of like planning, did you strategize? Did you have like content ready to go? Did you have like you know, brands that you were contacting and saying, look, let's line up an ad, let's do this, let's make this work? Or was it just, I know this is time, let's just fly off and like get ourselves out there?
It was more that I was at breaking point, I think, like
balancing everything
with my mental health. I worked 5 days a week, and then two days at the weekend was blogging, and then I used to wake up at 7 a.m. to film videos before work. I didn't have a social life, I didn't see my friends, I didn't
7 a.m.
at the time I didn't see my boyfriend, and then work was actually like stressful. I just was like, I can't live like this anymore as well. Like I was genuinely like, I don't have a life, like I'm not, as much as I'm like hustle, I also think you need to appreciate a work-life balance and enjoy your life, and I wasn't enjoying it. What was the question again?
No, just sort of like, what advice would you give to someone who's making that decision? But I feel like you covered that.
I was just at breaking point, and I just thought, I don't know. And then I did, to be fair, this has just reminded me, I did have a brand that I got into a 6-month partnership with.
I think longer term things
and I felt
quite exciting.
Yeah, it felt like it was almost like, well, I've got a salary.
Yeah.
So whatever. And I kind of knew, I had this feeling like, I don't know, I went to like a tarot card reader and everything, and she was literally just like, a big change is coming and you're worried about it, but like it's for the better. And I know that sounds really like loose, but
sometimes you just gotta trust.
I don't know, I did have this feeling inside, like it was right. I think gut feelings are very important. Like I just knew it was going to be okay. And if it wasn't, so what, at least I tried it. I couldn't stay wasting away in that job. I was like, I need to do something different.
When you're navigating the move to your dream career, what would you say is like what kind of things would you consider, forgetting about like salary or like having savings, what things would you consider as like signposts to kind of quitting your job and moving on to something else?
I wouldn't even say just for dream career, but I think some signs are, take away finances, because I don't want to advise people to leave a job if they physically can't. Like, only look for jobs while you've still got a job. That's just like number one. You look for other things while you still have a job.
It's easier to deal with.
Don't just leave. Keep that money coming in. I think a big one, especially when you're young, is when you're not learning anything anymore. Like you feel like you've hit a wall. There's nothing more I can get from this. You need to be in a new space, a new environment, learning more. I was in my job for like 4 years, and I could do it with my eyes closed. You need that change. You need excitement. I would say, no progression or any salary changes, and they've outright said, we're not going to pay you more, or you can't. Then
there's no like progression from that point.
Yeah, they're not appreciating you. And I think, especially again when you're young, you have to move around. This is like, if you're not going freelance, if you're moving job, the way to get more money is to change jobs.
Yeah. And sometimes it's not even about the salary. It might be like the work perk, or the
100%.
perk is you can have flexible hours, or the work perk is you get home half an hour sooner.
Yeah. Or like,
every day, which does add up.
You're with a younger team who you're going to be best friends with, or it's a company that kind of goes with your values more, you know, or you're going to have more free time. Like, I think people need to look at what they value. Like, it's not always just about the money. Like, I worked in fashion, like we both work in fashion. It's not a well-paid industry. Like, fashion PR but it was so fun. Like, the stuff we were doing outweighed it for me personally, and a lot of people I worked with. I was like, if I can go to events every night and go to festivals and like drink basically for a living, and obviously it was still hard.
Yeah.
But that to me is better than, you know, working in a finance job and getting loads of money. So I think people need to look at what they value, and it's nothing wrong with people who value money either. So.
Yeah, I think it's like across your industry as well, because this podcast for me is not just about like quit your job and then go and live a dream career doing something crazy and wild. It's like
nothing wrong with a 9 to 5 either.
Climbing a corporate ladder, there is nothing wrong with that. And I think it's about navigating it and just understanding that sometimes where you are now is not offering you maybe the best possible benefits. If they're not seeing your worth, then is it time to move on?
I think so. Because that's how I felt too. I felt not appreciated. So I was like,
I feel like you put a lot of focus and energy, and I feel like what you had as well in your job, and what a lot of people have to remember, is our generation are very technology savvy. Yeah. And that is a skill set. And I see this a lot of times, missed opportunities, younger people not putting that they have social media skills. Yeah. When we all do.
It's a job now. It's like...
It is. And there are people in corporate positions across all different types of industries who have no clue. Yeah. What Instagram really is, how to read analytics, how to analyse data. We are analysing data from, okay, maybe a more superficial sense, but we've still got the, you know, the analytical knowledge. We can still take a data set and analyse it and look at what's working well and what isn't.
But it's crazy to me because it's considered like a fluffy career. You know, oh, you work on social media. How many brands have...
We work based on numbers.
Started on social media though, as in, I'm talking every big... massive player like in the fast fashion industry right now, like Misguided, in the style,
they started from high street,
literally just social media, bloggers posting. That was how it started. So I don't know why people high up in corporate positions like don't take it seriously. I'm like, it's basically one of the main drivers of if you don't have a physical store, then it's your store. Then that's your main business is social media. Like how can you not see that as a huge skill?
And I just think I see it now more than ever, just missed opportunities. I've actually got back on LinkedIn and just I've had a lot of emails in the last like 24 hours about work opportunities, and I think it's from LinkedIn. And I think there's something in the water over there that people aren't tapping into. I feel like that's going to be a separate podcast.
Isn't it like a new thing, like LinkedIn influencers?
Yeah, I set up a creator account.
You gotta do it, yeah.
Now I'm thinking, was it that? Is that how they found me? I don't know, but I updated all my work and my recent work and said what I'd done, and I think that's what we as a generation kind of have to connect to the older generation, that we are here to like show up and show how good we can be in this industry, and it's not a fluffy subject, you know. Okay, people can judge us on the street and make comments and make snidey like remarks, but at the end of the day, we're showing up in the cold, we're doing XYZ to, you know,
you're doing everything.
Yeah, you're a one-man band.
And also it's the fact that people are like, it's not a job, it's not a job, or laughing at it, and I'm like, these girls, that like all girls, influencers, whatever, they're literally just in their bedrooms running full-blown businesses, making enough money. Like there's people out there that are like buying houses from money from influencing, and like for people to laugh,
six-figure incomes.
For people to laugh and say, you know, that's not a real job, haha. I'm like, well, she's laughing from her house, babe. So like, it's obviously a real job.
And a nice car, which I know it's not all materialistic, but it's security, financial security.
It is a job, and I think attitudes are changing though, which is good. But I need to get on LinkedIn. Do you know what I love on LinkedIn? All those people that are like, today I was walking home and I gave food to a dog, and then I got to my interview and that dog was the CEO of Apple, and that dog gave me a job. I was like, what?
I swear that's an advert for McDonald's.
No, seriously, they're crazy on LinkedIn. Why is every homeless man the CEO?
I know.
It's so... I don't believe any of it. They make these stories up.
They make these stories up. And also, it's those... do you ever follow those people? I'm not going to call out the specific people because I do subscribe to their newsletters. But those newsletters that are like broken down into like one line sentences, and you've got this email that's like 100 scrolls long, and it's just like one sentence saying one thing, and suddenly I realised ... and it's the same formatting.
So weird.
It's really weird. It must psychologically draw people in.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, what did I learn? Did I learn anything from that?
No.
Half the time I don't think you do. I really don't want to be posting content like that, but I do want to be getting on there because I think, again, missed opportunity. It's like brands not clocking on to TikTok. I mean, some are, but a lot of brands aren't on TikTok.
I don't understand it. It is. Do you know what I will say? It must be hard to keep up. It's
God.
so hard. Like, they almost need. I feel like they need
people our age.
They need they need
this is what you need.
People who are always on TikTok, but they also need to have like 10 creators who they just give complete creative control and go like,
see you later. You
all do 2 videos a month. You do it on trending sounds. Do it how you think, and just pay them. But I think brands need to kind of let go of the control on TikTok. Whereas Instagram, you can have control. That's the only way to do TikTok marketing, personally. Just let it creators do what they want.
Because again, it's so random.
And it's so quick.
Yeah,
you
like
can't
in
plan
one
a campaign.
day. I know we joke about the Julia Fox thing, but that literally came out of
it's
like
kind of gone now.
In 24 hours. It's like, even when I was editing my vlog, I was like, oh God, we're so annoying. But when we were saying it, it was the funniest thing we've ever
It's gone now.
heard.
We need to stop doing it.
Exactly. So we need a new thing. I need a new TikTok sound. But you don't know it until you're in the moment. But I think you can kind of apply all these things to wider like career paths, I guess, and just being immersed in what it is you want to do, attending events, attending, networking seminars, following people on LinkedIn, chatting away with people in your industry, because you're not going to see what's out there and what's trending and what's emerging if you're not consuming the content. And I think social media, it's I don't know, sometimes it sucks you in, and it's for a detrimental effect, and you're just kind of absorbing it and not taking anything in because you're just scrolling mindlessly. But for us, I feel like we go on TikTok as like market research.
I learned so, and just every day I learn so much from it. Like I follow a lot of like therapists, like sex counselors, like loads of people who like share their stories, and I actually feel like I genuinely learn like it is actually educational. And I know people are like, oh, TikTok's silly. I'm like, no, it's the people you follow. Like, I follow people that talk about genuine like psychology things. I find it amazing, and it's how you use it, isn't it?
Yeah. I've actually found, since sort of talking about my phone must know that I'm talking about taxes to people and having conversation. I get like, this is a hack and this is an advice for financial advice.
It listens.
Oh my gosh, my phone knows everything that I'm up to.
Yes, it's so crazy.
Everything that I'm up to. But I do think it's great because it's like, oh, do you know what? That's exactly what I wanted to see.
Yeah. It's kind of, it's
even
creepy,
though it's kind of wrong on so many levels.
It is. It's weird. It's even weird how it's like linked to your Netflix.
We're probably going to have, TikToks about our dream career and when to quit your job.
Oh God, yeah, literally. It'll be like about podcasts.
Or maybe one of Sadie's TikToks will come up on your For You page. Sadie Bass, Sadie Bass, Sadie Bass. Your phone is going to be listening to you. It's very fascinating. But yeah, just sort of talking about our dream careers and how we've navigated things. I feel like I don't even know what my dream career really is, but I think as a personal brand, I'd want to be known. And it's not even like I want to be famous or anything like that. It's just, for me, I'd love my personal brand to be trusted and be reputable.
Yeah.
I don't know whether that's the same for you or whether there's something that you're sort of aiming for in the next sort of 5 to 10 years that you're like, this is the end goal. Because I think sometimes when you get clear on the end goal a little bit, it can help give you that push to maybe go, do you know what, this job isn't satisfying that end goal. Yeah,
it's so hard, I think, because for so long my end goal was to be able to do this full time, and then it is like you get there and like, I don't know, I feel really happy and grateful that I'm here now, that I don't know what the end goal is. Like, do you know what I mean? But I think once you know where you...
But that's almost like you're ready for new change.
Yeah, you want to get to it. I guess sometimes I think you do need to enjoy the right now as well as having goals. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm trying to do. Mm-hmm. But you also don't want to get complacent. It's like it's hard striking a balance, I think.
Definitely. I think as well, like because of other external factors as well, it almost feels like we've had to really slow the pace down.
Yeah.
Like the last 2 years, some people probably wanted to go, do you know what, I want to quit my job and travel, and haven't been able to.
Yeah, haven't, exactly, yeah. I don't know, I think I want to help people in some way. Mm-hmm. Like, as much as I want to obviously make people laugh, and I do think that helps people. I think when things are going crap, I do get people going, do you know what, this made me chuckle, it made my shit day good. Like, that's enough for me, but...
Sadie Soul Services, like you could literally be like a hybrid.
I don't know, I would love to do like workshops or something. Like I would love to go around to like young girls, I think, like
impressionable
15 people, 16 year olds, like what I would have needed at that age. Like I look back and I'm like, if I had something like that, like
like a mentor,
like confidence workshops or something. That's where I would want to go.
I really like that.
But I had a palm reader and a tarot reader, and she said to me, she was like your life path is to help people.
She
was like, maybe not. Yeah, she was like, you're quite young. Maybe you haven't realised it yet. You might not realise it now. It could be when you're 50. But she was like, that is your like life path. And I was like, but I think, I don't know, ever since she said it, it's been like 4 years since she said it, and I feel like I'm already naturally, like, even like with what I'm studying and like, I don't know. I like the idea of that I've helped someone. Yeah, like that would be rewarding to me more than, I think. Obviously, I would love to be like, everyone wants to be fucking famous. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to lie and be like, regard, oh my God, I'm Mother Teresa. I just want to help people. Like, of course, you know, I want to wear nice clothes. I want to go on red carpets. I want people to know me. But at the bottom of what I want to do, I want to help. I want what I do to like add value, I guess.
Definitely. I think you're already doing that. I feel like it's just a case of divine timing. And I think sometimes you have to learn certain lessons in order to be knowledgeable.
Yeah, I need to get wiser. I need to make more mistakes.
I don't think I would have this podcast if I'd, you know, had a grad job that was great or had an internship that went, you know, 100% perfect and I ended up with a job. Like, my life would be really boring. I'd have no anecdotes. You need to go through
the hardships. It's actually character building.
Unfortunately, it is.
You got to turn it into a positive, as hard as it is.
I know, it's one of those things. But I think this is just the start for you, and...
This is why I said
exciting.
I only want to go on dates now, Alice, just to get content, just to like have a laugh after.
Let's do it.
Should we? Should we go on that Thursday dating? Have you seen that?
I literally had someone on a press trip mention this Thursday dating.
So it's like they'll pick a Thursday and like,
a random Thursday, and it's a random event.
And we all go there, and everyone there is single. And even if you don't even chat to anyone, me and you just have a laugh.
Why don't we vlog it?
Oh my God, we'll vlog.
Right, guys, it's happening. We're gonna go on a random Thursday. Download the app if you're attractive.
I want to meet some Darrens. I want to do a video. Only dating Darrens. Only dating people called Darren.
Only dating Darrens.
I know.
I love that.
I need to find some people called Darren. Does anyone have any brothers called Darren?
Just to give you guys a brief like rundown of the Darren thing. Like, a Darren is like a bit like a Karen.
It's like
a male F-boy Karen.
Yeah, like, it's like everyone knows a Darren. Like, if
a Karen. Oh my God.
If a boy treats you bad, he ghosts you. Oh, he's such a Darren. Like, it's like, oh, just shut up, Darren. And it's like, I don't know where it came from. I just called someone Darren, I think, on one of my dating stories. It's like, let's call him Darren.
And now she has an anti-Darren society.
I'm actually the CEO. It's called the ADS. I'd love for you to join. I rate
Applications
things
below.
I know. I rate things on the red flag Richter scale now.
Oh, wow.
I've got red flags.
Oh yes, I did see.
Yeah, I've ordered them on Amazon.
I've got physical red flags.
Might carry them in my bag.
You could literally go up to guys and go, red flag, and they'll be like, what is this, football? And you'll go, yes, a bit similar.
A bit similar, babe.
Off the pitch you go. So
you've been signed, like, what is it? Subbed.
You've been put on the sub bench.
Yeah.
Oh, I need a sub bench for the men. I might actually have one technically.
I think everyone does in their brain. I just don't text people back, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
I give my number and then never reply. It's actually so bad.
Do you know what, though? I feel like my dating work experience... I know this isn't a dating podcast, but I feel like we always slip into different things. But yeah, my dating experience... I'm working on the work experience side of things.
Okay.
I'm learning about myself. I'm... Yeah, just open to dating. So is Sadie. So maybe you'll see some Darren related content on Sadie's channel.
If anyone has any brothers called Darren, let me know.
Oh my goodness. So kind of moving on to the more productive side of things. I know when we hang out, we have a massive debrief and we end up chatting away and spend about 2 hours having a catch up about all the craziness that's happened. And then we get on with our work. How do you stay productive? Because I find myself very unproductive at home on my own.
Alice, if I knew, I don't know. Seriously, it was a problem that I didn't think I was going to have. Like, I thought, I imagined a million things going self-employed. I thought my life would be perfect, genuinely. I was like, all my problems will be solved. But I didn't actually realise how hard it would be, like, not having a manager, not having a teacher. Your whole life you go through with repercussions if you don't do stuff, you know. It's like, oh, if I don't get that project in, I'll get told off. If I don't get my homework in, I'll get told off. To not have that, obviously it's a sense of freedom that I can't explain. It's amazing, but it's also like, I don't know, it's hard to motivate yourself.
Definitely.
I don't think it's for everyone. I don't even know if it's for me yet, if I'm honest. I've only done this 6 months.
Very interesting. Do you find that when you have a deadline, if there's like a flexible deadline, that you get it done quickly?
No.
Or thank God, because neither.
No, no.
If someone gives me like a long time to do something or doesn't give a deadline, oh dear.
I'm like, you're not getting it then.
I'm like, Netflix, hi hun.
It's the urgency. Urgency drives me a lot. So when something's not urgent, like today even, I had 2 things that are urgent, so I got up at 7 a.m. and filmed them before I even met you. But I'll have a 2-week deadline, and I'll be like, sorry, it's late. It's I don't know. It's like a mental block. But I think it's never going to be perfect, and you do start to learn yourself. Like I know now, I have short bursts. I have short bursts of creativity, of productivity, where I'm like,
I feel like with the same personality
you
without
bank
agreeing
it.
with you.
I think those days where you do feel productive, like you just have to go and get loads done, and then I'll probably wake up the next day and be having a breakdown and be like, I'm not doing anything today, and that's okay. And I think where you can choose when you work, you don't have to work 5 days and have the weekend off. Like you can work on a Sunday. I kind of work, sometimes I just work a little bit every day, and I think if I've done at least one thing every day, even if it is just sending an email, uploading stories toward like my life, my work, like toward my goal, then it's like that is enough sometimes. And I find when you do rest, like when you actually just feel like not doing anything, even if you have a 9-to-5 job, and I'm definitely an advocate for taking mental health days.
Oh God, they should be allowed.
It should
paid.
be a sickness day.
It is a sickness day.
It's an illness. Like that, I've had days when my mental health has been worse that I almost wish I had a cold. I'm like, a cold would be physical and like easier to deal with, because I'm like, bit of Lemsip, in a few days I'm better. When your mental health's bad, you're like, I don't know when I'm going to be better. I don't know how to get better. You're like, oh, go on a walk. I don't know what. Go on a walk, buy a little coffee. That's it. Like, I don't really go to the gym. You can't get out of a funk, and I think you just have to allow yourself to rest.
Definitely. I think that's actually a really important factor that I think we're slowly learning to understand, and I think it's a very fickle thing, because in lockdown we were all suddenly very accepting. Oh gosh, I really like that they're doing a hobby, or they're taking up walking, or they're taking that hour break. Do you remember? Because everything was so like luxurious to go on a walk. Like we enjoyed life again, and it's almost like we've sneaked back into that habit of
hustle.
Gosh, they're going on a walk on a Monday morning. Haven't they got to be at work? And
you're taking like, a lunch break? No.
It's like I sometimes hit the gym, and I sort of go to the gym, and there'll be much older retired people at the gym, and they'll make comments. Oh, you don't have a job then? And it's like, hang on a minute, you're here too. I know you're probably retired, but also none of your business.
Everyone's work's different.
Yeah.
What?
It's bizarre, but I think we've almost forgotten what we've all just been through.
Yeah, it's back to that hustle.
Back to that like mentality.
We haven't learned anything. No. I hate hustle culture. I hate that.
Oh, it's toxic.
I hate the, oh my God, read your emails on the way to your job. Am I not allowed an hour commute just listening to music or reading a book, please?
Yeah.
Like, I really think there needs to be a time to shut off, and like actually just respect your mental health, respect your hobbies, like actually enjoy your life. Like life isn't all about work. And I think the lines get blurred for us because
massively
our work can be fun, and it's your life, it's you.
But then it's also hard, and like what we're doing now, right? You guys probably don't even realise, but we've kind of mentioned it at the beginning of the podcast, but we're recording at 11 o'clock at night.
I know.
Like no normal person really would be working this late for no reason, but it's fun.
It's a fun chat, but like
we are working.
I'm a working bitch. Do you remember that in like lockdown?
Yeah. What's her name? Ashnika.
I'm a working bitch. Yeah, it is, and even it becomes like you don't ever stop. So like,
but you also don't validate that it's work. So you're like, I've been so unproductive when it's actually.
But I've done 10 stories of me talking about something. I'm like, so, it is then. Even when I'm out with my friends, like I film everything with my friends. Like even with my mates, I'm like, let's do a YouTube video, and I don't actually ever sit and think. They finished work, but that is still work, and there's no boundaries.
Yeah, it's very blurred.
Even when I say to everyone, I'm like, I'm having a break off social media, don't miss me too much. I never do. I never actually do. I'm always posting shit, so I'm like,
you're always posting something.
It is so hard.
It's really hard to disconnect, and I think for you to impart some like productivity wisdom or just things that have really got you through, like what would you say to someone that's maybe struggling with productivity or feeling like maybe so burnt out? Like I've had real big long stints of burnout, and it's so normal, But it's because we've now almost forgotten that we can take time off.
Yeah, and you don't have to be everything all at once at every time. And I think the thing that helped me, which I think I mentioned it before and everyone forgets, is say you have loads of ads or you have loads of things you need to do and have to get done. You stop doing the things that you love to do. And I think whenever I've had a time where when I'm like so tired, hate it, I feel burnt out, I'll take a few days off and I'll get excited about something again and remember why I even started this. Like it is meant to be fun, and it's a luxury to get to do this job, and it's an honor to get to do this job, but not if it's impacting my mental health and I'm not enjoying it. I'm not doing this anymore if I don't enjoy it. I'll go get a 9 to 5 if I stop enjoying this. And I remember I'd been really bad for a while, like a week I didn't do anything, and I remember being like on Pinterest trying to get inspired from other creators, and I was like, what inspires you the most? Ariana Grande. And I was like,
I love that.
Fuck it, I'm filming a whole, like, recreating her albums.
Thing is though,
doing her makeup, her ponytail. Makeup, like, I did everything.
I look at you and I think I could never put so much effort into my makeup.
But
and
I found
hair.
it so fun. Like, it was like therapeutic.
That was therapeutic.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my god, that was fun, and it made me remember, like, yeah, I do like recreating looks, and like no one asked me to do that. No one wanted me to do that, but I was like, you're fucking getting it, Hans. Like, that's because that made me excited to do blogging again.
Yeah.
And I think
it's
important to remember that, like, you don't need to do, like, people always be like, do question boxes. I'm like, as much as I want to make, like, my audience happy, like, I need to be happy. You need to put yourself first sometimes. Definitely. And set a boundary with your time and what you want to do. But I think fall back in love with it. I know it's hard when you have a lot to do. Like, I'll have weeks where all I do is things for brands and things I need to do, and I don't do any fun things. That's why Alice needs to move to London, so
I do.
We can just do like random outfits.
I just think if I was with you, like, I feel like we would be so productive, but it would just be a constant.
But we have fun. That's what I mean. That we have fun, and I was even like that in my old job. Like, I would I'll get the work done, but like, at least can we have a little chat, or like, I just think whistle while you work.
That honestly reminds me of my textiles teacher. I've said it before on the podcast, but my textiles teacher hated me, and it was like literally sewing and like stuff with the sewing machine, and she'd be like, please don't talk. And it's like, I'm a whistle while I work.
Yeah, life's too short, man.
I'm a Netflix and chill whilst I work. I know it's a bit toxic, but it turns out a lot of people do that.
No.
We're a weird, wired generation. We really are.
Life's
we need
too short.
something. We need background noise. Yeah.
We're at work most of our lives.
Yeah.
Like, literally deep that. Like, why do people want to make it a shit environment?
Yeah. I remember as well, like, I used to do this at my PR job, and I remember one time I got caught and I got in so much trouble.
What did you do?
I would have, in a Windows tab, you could have it like ITV playing live.
Yeah.
And I'd listen to This Morning, and I'd just have it in one headphone.
What, if you're getting the work done, why did that bother people?
I would, but like, that's the thing. But it was almost like I had to zone out with the fact that I was in an office that I hated the work environment. I felt anxious, and it was almost like putting This Morning in just took me to another place. It was like I was at home. So for me, it was an escapism. Also,
I'm sorry, when you're doing like admin, like if I'm putting into Excel, my brain doesn't need to be fully functioning. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some things you need your brain for.
Yeah.
There's some things you don't, and no, and some people work better. Like,
and also, like, so some of it was like writing press releases, but as a journalist, you learn to just. It is a whistle way. I probably could be better. I'm not saying I'm by any means perfect, but you have your types and your styles of working, and when you know what works for you, use that workflow. It's like the whole work from home argument. It's like you could be so much more productive at home than commuting in, draining your energy, actually getting yourself into work and doing an office job that you could have done at home. Yeah,
but then like you also get people who love going to the office. Like,
I used to like
be desperate. Like the minute we were allowed, I was in every day because I was like, it's more fun. I'm around people. And when I come home, I have a separation of a work environment.
So it's really...
find what works for you, babes.
Yeah, it's your dynamic and it's your flow. And I think that's what we've kind of like come to the conclusion of really with this podcast. Find what works for you.
Yeah, like, I love like a podcast when I do shit.
But I think that's like you in a nutshell though, Sadie. You are you, and I think that's what's led to your success, and that's what we need to kind of impart to the listeners today, and just let them know that, okay, you might be in a corporate position, but you could, what's the word? Like, not barter, but like offer up an option for, working from home, or finding and striking a balance of a better work and like life balance. And
it's just setting boundaries of yourself. Like,
really set those boundaries.
When you're going to leave work, and like put a little bit of you into everything, even if you do have a corporate job. Like, bring your fucking crystals, put them on your desk, and just
exactly.
Be like, fuck you guys.
Exactly. And I do find as well, like, okay, if you can't leave your job now, if you're too worried financially, or you're in a financial situation where you're like, okay, right now I can't do it, but I know it's something I want to do.
It can happen.
But also, like, make your current working situation better for you. Like, really analyze, like, what's working. Like, do I need to ask for a pay rise? Do I need to, have nice things on my desk to make me feel better, like mental health wise?
For sure.
And companies need to be more accepting, because it's about time we actually realised how important it is to our productivity, our workflow, our output, and just how we feel about life.
100%. And I feel like they're calling this time the Great Resignation, aren't they? Because everyone's leaving their jobs because no one's
Great
happy.
Resignation. Yeah, I love that.
It's because everyone's leaving their jobs and going freelance in every industry. People are leaving. Like, no one's staying in jobs as long as, like, our parents did, because I think we want a different life. Like, we're realising we do want work-life balance. We do want mental health days. We do want to be treated better. And I think, a lot of people are going freelance. Like, I've even been offered to go back into influencer marketing, but, like, freelance.
That's crazy.
Work a few days a week and stuff. I think it's just going to be the new way, because companies treat people like shit. I'm going to be honest, they do.
They do. They really do. And, like, I remember when I was weighing up whether to quit my job or not, and I was so miserable. Like, not to get to that, like, dark point, but I was like, my life is over.
Yeah, it's
like,
soul crushing.
I couldn't see a way out, and, like, that's not a
scary.
way to live.
It's not, no job is worth your mental health. No. It really is not.
And guys, no joke, I was in that job for 6 months. God. Yeah, it honestly had such an impact. Even now, like, I'm ironing out beliefs about careers and jobs. It's honestly crazy, and it makes me realise, like, I literally had people say to me, gosh, you really need to be in it a year before you quit. Like, it's not going to look good on your CV. Blah, blah, blah. If I'd done another 6 months, I don't even know where I would have been. Holy moly.
That's so scary. And
to push someone to that level.
When people tell you what you need, and everyone is different, like,
oh my God,
you know deep down, like, that's what I'm saying, you know in your gut, like, everyone has that gut feeling of something's right or wrong for them. Like, I only went to uni for 6 weeks.
Well, there you go.
I was like, I was the first in my family.
You knew it wasn't.
That's what my mum said. Like, she was so supportive of my decision, and she remembers being like, I know you. She was like, you know yourself, and, like, you know if something's not right. And I just had this overwhelming feeling like I wasn't meant to be there. Like, I was like, I can't do this. And I think it's brave as well to be able to say, do you know what?
So brave.
This isn't for me. Instead of staying somewhere where you hate because you're too scared to leave,
and then walking away with a goodness knows how much in debt.
I know,
not worth it.
And like, same with jobs. Like, how long are you going to stay somewhere that you hate? Like, we only get one life. It's just
definitely. And I think we are one of the first sort of, maybe, well, not just our generation, but the millennial generation have challenged this idea that you have to stay in a job
Gen Z
and be miserable.
Next level.
Gen Z after millennial, holy moly! Like, we're kind of in the cusp of both.
We are the cusp with zillennials.
So we're technically not a millennial, and we're technically not really a Gen Z. Like, there's kind of an overlap gap.
Zillennials, we are. It's like 3 years, 95 to 97.
It's think. Gen, watch out, because we are.
I relate to both. If I'm honest.
Relate to both. Yeah.
I relate to the TikTok generation, and, like, I get their jokes. Like, my little brother, me and him vibe so much. But then I can sit with, like, a 35-year-old and talk about
avocado toast.
Yeah, like, I feel so in the middle. I understand, like, going on MSN, like, the kids. Like,
it's crazy.
We really can relate to both, and we remember a time before Facebook.
Yeah,
which is insane.
I didn't even have Facebook until I was 15.
Like, that's crazy. Like, we remember life before social media. That is something that anyone after us now doesn't know.
Yeah, which is so sad.
Insane. It's insane.
It is, and it's not normal. But we have to understand that, like, okay, this is the generation we're moving and flowing with, and that's why we have to be savvy, and we really need to look at, like, how we're consuming things, how we're being productive, how we're living our lives. If, like, COVID has taught us anything, the pandemic, life is too short to be in a shitty situation, to be in a job that treats you crap. Like, it's literally what inspired this podcast. I don't want people to ever feel so low that they feel like their life is not worth living anymore.
And I think you have to let that feeling push you as much as it can crush you. Like I remember just being like, I can't go on like this, and I was like, I felt like there was no other option for me than to like try and be successful. And I think that's why I did get up at 7 a.m. and film videos. And
well, you believed in yourself.
I didn't go out. I didn't go out on the weekends. I just stayed in and filmed. Not saying people have to do this to be successful, but it did push me to like, it did make me work harder, because I was like, I don't have another option. I don't want this to be my life. And I think you're the only one that gets to decide if you let it crush you or you let it push you. I think that we were saying this about jealousy as well. It's what you do with a feeling. You're allowed to feel jealous. Yeah,
it's got to be either a motivator and like look at it, and just don't like look at an emotion and go, oh gosh, I can't validate that, and move on. You're allowed to feel certain emotions. You're allowed to feel like you hate your job. Because that's a sign that, is this really for me?
Then you
like, you knowing with uni, it's like, is this really for me?
And you learn about yourself, what you can go through.
Amazing. So just to kind of wrap up and give some sort of final point, what would you say is something that you're looking forward to this year, or that something you're focusing on for the rest of the year?
I feel like I'm just trying to sort my life out, like get into an actual routine and stick to it. And
that's a good one.
Yeah, like I say I'll post on Wednesdays and Sundays YouTube, and I can't seem to stick to it. I just want to get into a routine and actually like honour it. That would be good.
Consistency.
Being consistent, and
that's exciting. And I think every single like goal and step towards this final you, that okay, maybe you'll keep pushing the boundary past, but navigating to that version of yourself that you want to get to, that every little step forward is something to celebrate. So you should be 100%. So proud of yourself. And like, even just seeing the growth that I've seen since us being friends, oh my goodness.
I know, and it's so weird as well. I just feel like a different person. I think consistency, and then I think like healing. Like I think healing a lot. A lot of things I'm healing from. Just that's on a personal level. That I'm like, I hope in a year's time, I'm a better, happy, like newer person.
That's exciting. Yeah. That's really exciting. Well, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you. This is unreal. I can't wait.
Oh, I literally can't wait to have you back.
Me and you can chat for England.
We actually can.
I know. I would love to also know what people are doing while listening to this, because I always
such a good one.
No, I always wonder, because I do my makeup is when I listen to podcasts, because it makes me feel like I'm chatting to someone. So I'm always wondering, I'm like, what are you doing? Are you tidying your room? Are you on the commute, driving?
Yeah.
When making dinner? Like, let us know.
So I find I listen to a podcast when I either have a spurt of productivity and I want something productive in my ear, or I'm feeling like anxious. So say I'm on like a busy tube, or like something that I'm like, right, zone out and think of something businessy. I'll like stick a podcast in, just so like the wider world doesn't seem so noisy, and it's just that I'm zoning into.
Yeah, love that.
That's when I really kind of take in everything. But like you say, some people just like it as background noise. They take it in subliminally and subconsciously. And even if that's how you're listening to this podcast, thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, they might not be full on. I just listen to it because I'm like, it makes me feel like I've got people near me, like with me, because I'm always alone. So
God, I used to have that. Like
it's my friends.
Hotels, I still do. Yeah. One of my things that I do when I go on a press trip,
you feel like you're having a conversation with these people.
Or I put a podcast on.
It's sick. But thank you so much for listening.
Thank you so much, guys. And make sure you head into the show notes below in this podcast, just so you can check out Sadie's channel. She's got a YouTube channel, which is fantastic.
It's going to be consistent. I'm sticking by my word. Watch, I probably won't even upload this week now.
And she's also got a fantastic Instagram as well. So make sure you check her out. I'd love it as well if you give this podcast a 5-star review. I actually haven't got many reviews yet on...
I didn't even know you could review podcasts.
You can review podcasts and just say like what you're enjoying. Let us know in the reviews. Like, how are you listening to this podcast? I'd love to know. But it means the absolute world. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Good luck with anyone quitting their job.
Yes.
From my A-star advice.
You have got it. You can make it happen. And we will see you in the next podcast episode.
Bye. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Staying Sweet, the podcast. If you enjoyed listening, please do leave a review, and I will catch you next week for a new episode. Stay sweet.